In this video, I'm going to be covering how to add 20 to 30 more appointments to your calendar with scalable one-to-one outreach, more specifically using AI or Clawdbot. So first, I want to jump into what is Clawdbot. I'm not sure if you've heard about it or not, but Clawdbot is essentially the next evolution of AI. So it's an AI assistant that lives in Telegram. So you would actually set up a Telegram account. There's a whole lot that goes into the build out process and getting it set up properly. But once you have it set up, you text it like a person and it actually does the work. So it writes the copy for your emails or for whatever you need. It browses the web, it saves files, and it runs tasks in the background. And that's unlike ChatGPT or other AI tools because it remembers everything across all conversations, and you can have multiple specialized agents, each focused on their own job. And I'll kind of show you a bit more about that in a second. But you don't have an app to open. It just works where you already are on your computer. And the cool thing about that is when you're working with ChatGPT, usually it asks you a question, it gives you back some information. But what you can do with Clawdbot is actually tell it to do things, and it won't just come back with an answer. It'll go out and actually do tasks for you. So I'll show you a little bit more of what that looks like in this example and show you how to use it to get more appointments with scalable one-to-one outreach. So let's first talk about the benefits of using this. Now, the biggest problem with outreach, especially really personalized outreach, is the time to do the research. So I have a friend who actually works at Salesforce, and I asked him, hey, how many hours do you spend each day just researching prospects? He's like, man, today only I probably spent 3 or 4 hours just researching prospects. So it's things like that if we can get rid of a lot of that research while still getting the quality, we're able to do a lot more outreach, which means more appointments, but also still keeping that personalization so we don't sound generic, spammy, or anything like that. So when we look at how the results are going to differ, when we do generic messaging with a lot of like the scalable outreach stuff that is usually done, it's just things like, hey, we can get you 20 more appointments in the next 30 days. And people are like, yeah, that works. Some people might respond, some people might not. But compare that to what we can do with Clawdbot right here is we could send a message that would say something more along the lines of, hey, I clicked on your Google ad for the keyword B2B SaaS and checked out your landing page. Looks great. One thing I noticed though is after I opted in, I didn't get any outreach. I built a system that can help you get about 20% more free trials in the next 30 days. So you can see here, I underlined the different personalization pieces that make this really effective and make it work really well. So the bot literally will go and search that keyword that we're targeting. So if we're looking for B2B SaaS companies, we can search B2B SaaS or CRM platforms or whatever keywords they might be running Google ads on, and we can reference that in the outreach. So that's already going to increase the response rates that we're going to get. Then we talk about an actual experience we have on going through their funnel that's likely costing them leads and creating problems. Then we reference what their actual CTA is. What is the thing they're trying to optimize for? If they were trying to push people to a call, we would say, hey, we can get you 20% more calls. But if we have someone who's optimizing for free trials, we would say, hey, we can get you 20% more free trials. So again, the more personalized it is, the more likely people are to respond because it doesn't just feel like generic spammy outreach. Now, next, I want to talk about how to build it yourself. So when you're building this, what you want to do is first write down every step of what needs to be done manually for your outreach. After you do that, what you want to do is break down that list after you built out this long list. Things like, oh, we got to search Google ads and research a company and so on and so forth. Then you'll want to say, okay, what do we have to do because it requires specific knowledge? That's not like writing copy. That would be things like verifying that the emails actually look good, that they're in your brand tone, that everything sounds good. And Clawdbot gets better and better and better as you do this. But to start, there will be some things you'll want to do manually. But if you've got a list of 15 to 20 tasks that you do every time you conduct outreach, you should be able to take that 15 to 20 tasks and bring it down to 2 or 3. Again, saving you hours and hours and hours of time per prospect and allowing you to reach 10 to 20 times more people with the same level of personalization. Now, once you do that, all you do is simply take that framework, submit it to Clawdbot, and ask it to build everything out for you. And now let me show you what it did for me. So I'm going to bounce over here, and you can see over on the left side, I have all of these different agents. This is the one that you use to set up the bots, but this is essentially an executive assistant. This one understands how to work with all of the other bots. I have this one right here that is my prospecting one. This one is made specifically for creating market materials, and this one is for development. So that tool right here, Dev, is actually building out entire software tools for me in just a matter of days. Things that usually cost $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 to build, I can build in 3 days for only a few $100, and they still create the same type of results that those very expensive platforms used to create. So now let me tell you a bit more about how the prospecting tool works. So I went through, I built out my list of all the tasks. I put it into Clawdbot, into the Scout one specifically that's made for this prospecting process, and said, hey, this is what I need to do. Can you build it all for me? Can you just figure out how to do this? I don't want to do anything. And I literally forced it to make this all for me. And here's what it did. So the first thing it did is it signed up for Apollo, and it actually created an API key for itself to go in there and find companies that fit our criteria. Then what it does is it visits each company's homepage to confirm they're actually the right industry, and it kills those mismatches. From there, it actually does the funnel analysis. So what forms are there? What feeds or what fields are they using? A booking or a calendar page? Is there a chat bot? What does the thank you page say? And then it grades those companies on how well their funnel is built. So if they're if they're in the 2 to 3 range, that's someone we want to target because they have forms, but they don't have the follow-up, they don't have automation, they're missing some stuff that can easily get them better results. If they have no form or no calendar or whatever, we likely are going to skip them because it doesn't seem like they're investing much in their inbound. Or if they're a 4 and a 5, they're already very automated and likely don't need our solution. Then from there, what it does is it finds the ones that are in the 2 to 3, and then it actually submits a form on its own. So it submits the form, looks at everything, logs the exact time and confirmation. We have certain accounts set up for it, so I can still review those emails and still go through the process of being a prospect, but I don't have to be the one actually doing this kind of stuff. So it's still me opting in. I'm just not actually clicking the buttons. Then we monitor that email, see if emails come through. And then once we know that this person is a good fit, it goes in, it finds the contact, it creates the script that we want to send to them, and it puts them in an Airtable for me to reach out to them. Once I do that, all I do is record the video, put it back into Airtable, and it's connected to an email account where it will send those messages over to that prospect. So it takes all of that work that I would do before, and now all I have to do is record a loop. That's it. So all this stuff that would have taken me hours and hours and hours to do, now it's slimmed down to just one specific aspect. Now, when you're able to do this, you can obviously see this process that usually took me about, call it 15, 20 minutes per contact before, takes me about 5 minutes recording this loom. So already right there, I'm getting 4 times more output just by using this tool. And if you calculate that over, okay, if I'm getting X amount of appointments, doing it manually, and now I can automate that and get 4 times more output, you should see 4 times more results, which means 4 times more appointments. So that's why the system is so powerful. And again, if you're still not using this or you haven't heard much about it, I highly encourage you to do some research, because this is really going to make all of your efforts, whether it's generating leads, whether it's qualifying leads, whether it's nurturing leads, whether it's setting appointments, whether it's pre-selling appointments before they get on a call with you. There's so much you can do with this that's going to allow you to create better sales processes and get more out of what you're already doing. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, let me know.